power of your mind. Well, one day this won't just be possible in science fiction films. Mind control technologies already exist.
Hello, I'm Jenny Osman. Now, as a science and technology journalist, I'm always fascinated by our amazing brains. Imagine being able to juggle using just the power of your mind. Ta-da! Today, I'm going to be travelling to Ankara in Turkey to find out how one day that might really be a possibility. Brain-computer interface is an emerging technology where you can control a device using just the power of your mind. It's already opening up new frontiers, such as in the treatment of neuromuscular disorders. But amid all the excitement, it's also raising concerns about how it could be used and potentially abused. Now, before we find out exactly how it works, let's learn about how it developed.
Research on brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, began in the 1970s at the University of California in Los Angeles. Initial studies were funded by the National Science Foundation and DARPA, which is part of the US Department of Defense. But it wasn't until the late 1990s that the technology was ready for public use. Invasive BCIs implanted directly into the brain tissue were developed to help people with medical conditions, such as allowing someone with damaged sight to experience so-called phosphenes, which give the sensation of seeing light, or someone with paralysis do things like control a computer cursor using the power of their mind. The technology has real potential for all sorts of other medical uses, such as the prevention of smoking or alcoholism, or the detection of tumours and brain conditions. But it's also now moving into our homes. And it looks set to become integral in our everyday lives. The potential of this technology seems infinite. I'm going to Gazi University in Ankara to find out how it works.
What a great place to work.
Yes, yeah.
Tell me about the research in your department.
We are working on brain-computer interface to facilitate the human life. The brain-computer interface means by using computer to stimulate the brain, to orient the brain, and taking the brain signal by using EEG devices. Then the signal, brain signal, then control the device. We are working at this.
Okay, can you give me...
In particular, we are controlling home devices, home environment devices for disabled people.
I mean, that's incredible. So you're saying that just by thinking about switching on a light, they can switch on a light?
Yes.
It's incredible.
The brain
I don't believe it.
Immediately produce a signal we call P300 signal, because it occurs after 300 microseconds.
Okay.
When the brain...
That's how fast it happens.
We achieve home devices. For example, we achieve to control lighting, to open the door, close the door. We switch on television, selecting television channels.
Wow.
Recording players, etc. All home environment. But this can be extended. This can be our future projects, brain to brain.
So your brain to my brain?
Yes.
Wow.
not only brain to device, also brain to brain, our future works.
So one day, could we have this conversation just by thinking?
It's possible. It's possible.
Do you know what I'm thinking now?
Not now. What not now?
So tell me, in how many years might this be possible?
Maybe 2, maybe 3 years. It's very, very close.
That's incredible. I look forward to coming back in 2 or 3 years' time and us doing this interview brain to brain.
I'll expect you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Good luck
you.
with your project.
Thank you.
Still to come, I chat to a futurist to discover whether the technology could be exploited by hackers. But first, I'm now going to go and meet another professor to see if I can find out a little bit more about who would use this technology. Hi, Ömer. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I have just finished my lecture.
Ah, thank you. I wondered, I didn't want to interrupt before, so I waited until they left. So I've just been talking to Professor Güler, who told me all about the amazing research that you're doing with brain-computer interfaces. I want to find out a bit more about what type of person would use this system.
I would like to give some brief information about the project. The main objective of this project is to make a communication between the disabled people who has a neuromuscular disease and the environment to improve their life quality. Brain-to-computer interface is one of the ways for this purpose. You know, in our daily life, we use keyboard, mouse, and microphone. If we have a touchscreen monitor, we can use our fingers and digitizer pen to communicate with the computer. This is easy for healthy people, but disabled people who has neuromuscular disease cannot use such things, this kind of input devices. So we should find a way to communicate with the computer. The way is BCI technology. In brain-to-computer interface system, we use EEG sensors to obtain the brain signals. So, for that purpose, we use brain sensors mounted on the cap like this, and collect these signals from the EEG system, and we have evaluate them to determine what they think, what they want to do. Because when a person concentrates on an object, his or her brain starts to fire some neurons, creating electromagnetic waves.
So by neurons you mean nerve cells?
Sure.
To the average person who's watching at home.
These electromagnetic waves are sufficient to induce voltages on the EEG sensors.
Now, until I actually see this technology working, I'm not sure I really believe it's possible. Is there somewhere in the university I can go and see?
Sure. You can go upstairs in the electronics lab.
Okay.
Miss Eda will show you how it works.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, look, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to go and find Ada now. Sure. Hello. Hi, is it Ada?
Yes, it's
Hi, I'm Jenny.
Nice to meet you, Jenny.
Memnun oldum. I'm learning Turkish gradually. I hear you're working on brain-computer interface.
Yes. here is our BCI laboratory.
Okay.
This is Halil. He's my husband.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. So this is your system. Can you explain exactly how it works?
Well, we have a stimulus screen, to present some symbols of the devices that will be controlled. At the stimulus interface, during the stimulation, each item on the screen intensifies randomly. In order to select a command, users focus on one of the items and count each intensification of this item.
Okay.
On the other hand, on the other side, simultaneously with the stimulus presentation, we also measure users' EEG signal.
What's an EEG?
EEG is a biomedical device to measure brain activity of people.
Okay.
That's enough to select the command. After the end of this stimulus presentation, we evaluate the recorded EEG signals by using a spatial software. This spatial software determines the target item that user wants to select. After determining the target item, BCI system transmits this command to the control module and then the related device and activate or deactivate this device.
So the magic then happens.
Yes.
Now, are you going to show us how it works?
Of course.
Okay. What do we need to do?
Let's start with wearing our cap.
Okay.
Then we put on some electrodes on these hooves.
Okay. Can I help you?
Yes. You can put it here. For example, number 1 is here.
How many electrodes are there altogether?
16. We have 2 others.
It looks like something out of a science fiction film.
Yes. Yes, that's finished. Now let's measure the electrode impedance.
Okay. Oh, it's flashing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we need to keep the electrode impedance under the 20 key.
Okay.
So we need to decrease the impedance by adding a gel under the electrodes.
Okay.
The next step is our experiment.
So, Helen, what are you going to do now, then?
I'll try to turn on the lights. For this purpose, I need to focus on some symbols on the screen. And then I hope it will turn on.
Okay, fingers crossed. Good luck.
Let's try. Yes.
Wow. Are you sure you weren't cheating? You're not holding any...
My hands here. I am not.
That's amazing. It's incredible. And can you turn it off again?
Of course.
Okay. Hands up.
So,
This is incredible. High five. That's amazing technology. Can you try, I don't know, we've got a radio here, a fan. Can you control any of these?
yes, I can control fan and radio.
Okay.
Let's try with fan. Yeah.
Okay. I'll be quiet. You've got to concentrate. Wow.
That's it.
That's amazing. And off, please.
Okay.
So, could I do this?
Of course. Please sit down.
Okay.
And we need your...
You see my ears, huh? So, Ada, what's the next step for your research? What do you hope to achieve in the future?
If you want to learn my long-term plans, although it seems so fantastic for now, I want to study brain-to-brain communication.
Okay.
Yes.
So we could communicate just by thinking to each other.
Yes. Is it enough?
I think so. I can feel it on my skin. Yeah, on my skin.
We can start.
Okay, I'm ready. So remind me, I just have to, if I want to turn on the light, I have to concentrate on the light bulb
Yes, and count each intensification of the light bulb.
each time it flashes. Okay, I'm ready.
Let's start.
Ah, that's amazing. Wow.
Did you like it?
That's incredible. It's so simple,
Yes.
actually. So now let me see if I can turn it off again. So I'm going to concentrate on the icon that is
Dark.
dark. Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Hey. That's really impressive.
Yes. Did you like it?
Even I can do it.
Yes.
Wow. Now, are there any limits to the distance that this technology can work over?
Actually, for this system, brain-computer interface and control module are connected to each other through internet. So, as you know, internet enable us to access anywhere in the world without distance limit.
Okay. So, for example, could I contact my colleagues back in Istanbul?
I think yes,
Okay.
because we shared with them our spatial software, and you can connect them.
Okay, great. Shall we do it?
Yes, let's try it.
Okay. Okay, so if I try calling my colleague Mustafa on Skype on here, it's ringing. Hi, Mustafa.
Hi.
This is Ada. How are you?
Hi Jenny, I'm fine. You look a bit different.
Good. I know, I'm looking a bit strange. She's looking beautiful, I'm looking strange. Mustafa, I've got a big surprise for you, so just wait there. Okay? Are you ready?
Okay, I am waiting. Wow, amazing. Did you do it?
Yes, did you see it?
Yes.
It's me loading a media player,
Wow, Jenny, it's really incredible.
and I'm doing that just through the power of my mind. I'm not touching any buttons or anything. Yeah, I promise. It's true, isn't it?
I know.
Okay. Well, I'll switch it off now. Ready?
Yes.
It's gone?
Yes.
All right. Nice speaking to you.
Okay, bye Jenny, see you later.
Görüşürüz. Bye. That's cool, huh?
Yes.
It's amazing. I mean, what an experience to do this today. I just thank you so much.
You're
It really has been such a... Can I take this off?
You.
I'll never get out of this.
Oh.
Out of this cap. I feel like a woman again. Ada, thank you so much for your time. It's been brilliant.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. So we've seen a brain brain-computer interface in action, and we found out about its potential uses. But I wonder what people on the street think. Let's go find out. So how can you imagine using this technology in the future?
Açıkçası aklıma hani bilim kurgu filmleri geliyor. Çok fazla bilim kurgu filmi var ve hani makinelerin dünyayı ele geçirdiği ve insanları yönettiği ve beynimize iletişim kurmaları, beynimize erişebilmeleri korkutucu geliyor açıkçası bana.
Böyle ince işlerde hani el işiyle veya böyle yüksek teknolojili makinelerle ancak yapılabilen işleri zihin gücüyle tam ayarında yapmak mümkün olabilir. Çünkü hani insanın eli titrer sonuçta ama zihninle kontrol edebildiğin zaman çok daha rahat bir şekilde yapılabilir bunlar.
Actually, I imagine it using on vehicles while controlling it. For example, when you want to park your car, you bring it here and you come out and you control it. You just park it. While you see it, there will be less crashes. Usually there are crashes about parking. When you park and it crash. I am computer engineering studying here, and I want to do my programming while I'm thinking. For example, if I change something, I don't want to write it directly. I want it to be changed there.
As we've seen, brain-computer interfaces could dramatically improve people's lives. But for all the potential benefits, there are also major concerns. What happens if these devices are hacked and our privacy is invaded? Well, to find out more about what the future might hold for this technology, I'm about to chat to a futurist. Hello, how are you?
Hi Jenny, I'm fine, thank you very much.
Very good, thank you for chatting. Right, I'll crack on with my first question. So, how do you see this technology altering our lives in the future?
For example, someone who is not technically trained, not design trained, who's not someone with an engineering background, but has a shape or an object or a design in mind that can be transferred onto a computer with the help of a 3D printing software with brain-computer interface, that person can then 3D print those objects. After that, you can also look at neurogaming, where you play them with thought in virtual reality. So that's another area where brain-computer interface is going to make major inroads. If you look at an experiment that's happened in 2015, it has been announced, where a scientist in India was able to communicate brain-to-brain through this brain-computer interface with a scientist in France. So this has already been tested. So how long will it take to mainstream? I would say give it another 10-15 years.
And what about privacy concerns? With so much of our personal information or data being collected now, do you have worries about hacking and how do we prevent abuse?
I think when the brain-computer interface system merges with the internet, the first thing it will do is it will remove all barriers of time and space. For example, if I'm in the shower and if I'm thinking of a story in my mind, I can record it at the same time. That means I'm actually writing a book as I imagine and think of something while I'm in the shower. At the same time, I can be sitting next to a person and have a conversation with that person, but also have another silent conversation in my mind concurrently with someone far away. That is how amazing brain-computer interface is going to be in increasing our productivity in terms of time and space. But that aside, there are also downsides to this. When you look at a malicious user of technology today, to hack into a system, it takes time because there is input through a keyboard and through systems and buttons and whatnot. In the future, the risk becomes so high with malicious users of technology that at a thought, someone could trigger a nuclear device. This is something we need to worry about.
Well, look, thank you so much. It's been fascinating chatting to you.
Thank you very much, Jenny. My pleasure.
Okay, thanks then. Bye. Bye. like a brave new world out there. Brain-computer interface has huge potential to improve people's lives, both at home and at work. But if this technology becomes commonplace, we need to make sure that we don't abuse it. For example, you wouldn't want some cheeky girl remotely turning off your TV while you're watching, now would you? Just joking. But on a serious note, so much depends on how we end up using this technology. In the words of Albert Einstein, it's become appallingly obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity. Wise words indeed. Moving forward, we need to make sure that we prove Einstein wrong. Well, that's all we've got time for, but join me again on my next adventure on SciTech Voyager. So you're saying that just by thinking about they can switch on a light?
Yes.
It's incredible. Ah, that's amazing.
And I will prove.
That's incredible.
I can touch you in remote area.
Okay, so I could be in the UK and you could be in Japan and we could have a conference call and I could still shake your hand.
Yes.
We try to make it as natural as possible.
So this is all 3D printed?
This is all 3D printed. It just goes to show that a wall doesn't have to be straight anymore.
They make smart wallpaper. You can also use them in newspapers, animated newspapers such as the one seen in the Harry Potter film.
SciTech Voyager on TRT World.